Oh my goodness, you guys, we got ghetto studios today. The camera fell. Our nice tripod holder is no longer working, so let's just work with what we got here. Welcome to the show. Ghetto show today. What's good, you guys? This is your girl Erica from the Classy Climb blog. I just want to let you know that today's show is talking about ESPN, the woke brigade, and Donald Trump, your favorite president. Oh well, ex-president is fighting tech. Now, many people are like, hey, I don't care. Orange man bad. Orange man bad. He don't got to be on TV. And that's what people are hoping you will continue to feel. They're hoping that you will continue to say, Orange man is bad. And I don't care if he can't be on Twitter. I can't care if he can respond. But this opens the door, unfortunately, for others to be banned, for others to not be allowed on the internet, for others to lose their platform. Now, prime example, I'm gonna go here. There was a in the road standoff. Let's just go there. There was a in the road standoff in Boston where they had several men calling themselves Moors. You know, there's some nation of Moors. They don't follow our laws, whatever. Now they were on their lives when they were live on Instagram, live on streaming on YouTube. They kept repeatedly saying, "Hey, we're not breaking any laws. We're going to training. We're just in gear because we're going to training." And there was a group of us before us, right? Now, many people are like, well, why the heck are y'all in full military gear? I personally go to gun trainings. There are several men who show up in full military gear to go to these trainings, right? Now, all the things they said on Instagram, all the things they said on Twitter, all the things they said on YouTube are magically gone. Why? Because the internet pulled it. Facebook pulled it. Twitter pulled it. YouTube pulled it. These men were saying, hey, we're not anti-police, we're military veterans, we're just going to training. Now, when they got to court, I don't know what kind of lawyer they got, but it ain't a good one. Immediately they're like, well, we don't follow your laws anyway. Which in my mind was like, that's the worst thing to say. But they have no way to defend themselves in what we call the court of social media. They have no way. They absolutely have no way to defend themselves. We can say anything we want about them. They cannot, verbally confirm or deny anything because every platform's removed them, which is dangerous. The same thing happened, again, if you want to think about it, in Waco. The same thing happened in a lot of situations where now you're the crazy person and you have no way to respond to the threats, the conversations, people threatening your life, etc., etc. Now people say, well, Erica, that's not Donald Trump. Donald Trump is annoying. He's race debating. He's doing all these crazy things. And guess what? He still, to this day, has a right to do those things. He still has a right to go out here and say all those things. He still has the right to use these platforms. If the platforms are going to be used by news networks, the platforms are going to conduct themselves as news networks, then they have to follow some rules. This is why, of course, Mark Zuckerberg, many of these people go, well, we're not news networks. Oh, yeah, we're not a newspaper. Oh, no. We're going to fact check and act like a newspaper, but we're not a newspaper. So, we just do what we want out here. So again, this is going to court. And the first thing many reporters have asked Trump, well, what do you want to settle for? He's like, oh, I don't want to settle. I want to go all the way to the Supreme Court. This is not what they want to hear. Because a lot of times, if you do not understand, most people that settle with a lot of these big companies don't have the money to fight. But this guy does. Now, where am I going with this? Because you're like, Erica, but you said the video's about being woke and big tech. It's about big tech, baby. It's about big tech for sure. Now, something I want to kind of express to people. People say, well, we should take down these radical voices, Erica, these radical voices of crazy people. We should get them off the internet. That's not for you to decide. That's not the right for you to decide. Okay? That is the right of the courts to decide. That is the right of judges to decide. That is the right of the people to decide, really, truthfully. Now, why am I bringing this up? Why does it matter? Prime example, OnlyFans. A lot of what made the platform, those young ladies are getting kicked off the platform. Why does it matter? Those ladies are in no condition to do what? Fight back. They ain't gonna be able to make their own new platform. Somebody, trust me, don't worry. Somebody will create another edition of OnlyFans. Don't worry. I promise you. Very quickly, they will make another one. But the ladies that are on there now are telling you, this is the safest way for me to make money. This is the safest way for me not to be in the streets. This is the safest way for me to not be assaulted by pimps, is being on this internet with inappropriate websites. Now, first thing you tell these ladies, well, build your own website. Build your own XXX website. They have plenty of tutorials to show you how. Build your own webcam site. Build your own stuff. But this is the fight of big tech. This is what big tech is doing. Big tech is saying, hey, you can use me, or you have to create your own platform. Now, I'm always going to be in favor of people driving their own traffic to their own platforms. But I understand the implications of disappearing people off the internet. Right? Prime example. There were a lot of people talking about, man, that Miami collapse of that building seems kind of weird. So much weird that other countries feeling bad for America. And because the building was filled with immigrants in Florida, Israeli government sent us. You can go look this up. Special teams that work on bomb collapse buildings. Let me say that again. Israel sent special teams who work on bomb collapse buildings. Several countries sent people in to help. They get there and they say, well, y'all just go into the hotel and rest yourself. They're like, no, we here to dig and look for the 126 people that are missing, kids, pets, and animals and all kind of stuff. Okay. They found one of the firefighters' daughters in the rubble. When they went to go talk about it on the news, all the segments were cut. When they went to say, hey, they're taking our job from us, they're just going to demo the building tomorrow, all those segments were cut. You can't talk about it. Right now in Canada, y'all don't know this because most people aren't in Canada who watch this channel. They passed a bill, and I think it's 130 UBS something, and they passed it at 1:30 in the morning. Guess what? No social media platform in Canada, which includes Facebook, includes YouTube, can talk about it. Your videos will be taken down. These things will be deleted. Right now on, what's the favorite one of the kids? The TikTok. If you put pro-black in the title, it will be deleted. You will be banned. You will be shadow banned. Now, many people say, well, Erica, you just, you're picking and choosing stories and, what does that matter? It matters because if this is the platform of media that 90% of Americans, not the world, because the whole world doesn't have internet like we do, but 90% of Americans can utilize to get their news, it's important. It's a shadow for things to come. All right. So this tech fight is important. Now, another reason why this tech fight is important is because, and I'm going to use the example, ESPN. ESPN has been on a dying leg for a while now. I'm just calling it like I see it, right? Because the rise of podcasts and individualized shows, because if you look back in our society, we used to have a ton of radio stations, a ton of local radio, a ton of local TV, where you had just a plethora of voices. And then you kind of just crammed them all into Hollywood. You crammed them all into, New York. You crammed them all into LA. You crammed them all into Florida, right? Well, what happened is you had people like Rush Limbaugh. You had people starting to make these shows, and it became profitable in a way of life. Well, now you had Joe Rogan just make 100 million. Somebody tell me if I'm right in the chat. I think it's $100 million. You just had Joe Budden and them. I think they're making buku money, even though they're having all this restructuring. ESPN right now has a certain number of slots. Now, if you look on ESPN, what's his name? Kwame Brown is ethering. If that's the word, ethering Stephen A. Smith repeatedly every day, twice on Sunday, 4 times on Thursday. He's just dragging that man to hell and back. Why is that important? They only have so many slots. They've only promised so many people money, right? So I'm not gonna call her the poor woman. I'm not gonna say this because this happens in corporate America. We just don't talk about it, right? So when people say, "Oh, I don't know, there's racism in America," cool. You can tell me whatever you like. Cool. The young lady who recorded her, they were on a Zoom call. Miss Nichols, who is popular with the black men in the sports, because she's down. She's using the slang and the men love her. She's got the reddish hair, and again, Camera's rolling. Listen, you got to remember, whenever you got the camera rolling, baby, you got to prepare yourself to know somebody's could be hearing what you say. Always be prepared. So the camera's rolling and the other lady's recording it. And she says, well, I'm all about, I'm paraphrasing. Don't come slaughter me later. Yeah. I get it. They're looking to give her some spots. Just don't come take my spots. Now, I'm paraphrasing this. Now, what happened at ESPN is they said, hey, can she cover, some of the basketball? We're going to take a few times from you and put the young lady over here. Okay, is that okay? And she's like, hell no. Because if you know anything about news networks, you know anything about sports, you know anything about TV, once you get your spot, that's your spot. And the way you get more money is being on TV even more. And showing your network, as Stephen A. Smith loves, that they need to pay you. And they need to pay you more because people are interested in what you have. Now, the problem I have with this is twofold. I'm not going to call ESPN racist. I think that's silly. And it dilutes the word racist. What I believe is happening is there you go. Roscoe beat me to it. That's right. Rachel Nichols is getting older. They want a younger chick out there. Why? Because they're dealing in an arena of young people. I'm telling y'all, listen, if you go look at 90 Day PX 90, whatever that is, you look at a lot of the athletic fitness online things, they always go find a young person you ain't never heard of and build them up. Like, this person is the newest, hottest thing. This is great. That's what all news networks do. Fox News, they made a movie out of Fox News that he always wanted young, fresh out of college, fresh out of whatever, blonde, tight skirts, heels. That's what they wanted. Okay. So she knew in that culture, she only had so much time. That's just all there is to it. It's a time factor. Now, here's the difference. Are you talented? Do you have skills? Number one and number two, are you talented? Do you have skills? The market does not pay her. Sorry, I got this thing is broken. I'm trying to see it. The market, yeah. Okay, so the prime example. A couple years ago, well, when Barack Obama was in office, you had this plethora. Let's just call it what it is. A plethora of Black conservatives on Fox. You had a plethora of Black liberals on MSNBC. And I said in a video, you can go back on this channel and find it. When Barack Obama's out of office, they're going to let all y'all go. They're going to let all y'all go because they don't care. And they don't have to care because you're here to give a diversity talk, essentially what you are. You are a diversity talk against the president if you're on Fox. You are a diversity talk for the president if you're on MSNBC. Just saying what it is. And you better have some talent and you better be interesting and you better put all the books and stuff you want out while you can. Guess what? 90% of those people you don't see on TV no more. Why? They don't care. They don't care what you have to say. They're not looking for no diversity talk with our current president. They show you they got Kamala. Okay? That's about as diverse as you're going to get. Okay? It is a mixed woman that's Jamaican. Okay? That's it. Hush, we don't want to hear it from you. And so what people have to understand is these networks play stereotypical spots. There's only so many spots. And when people go into the game, they know that. So I don't fault the woman for saying, hey, I get it. You're trying to do some diversity, but don't take it from me. You dig what I'm saying? Like, I get that. But same thing when I saw people, I think her name was Melissa something. I forgot. She's a light-skinned woman on MSNBC, and she started to be, let's just call it what it is. She started being difficult. She started being attitudinal, whatever the word is, right? She started being difficult. They let her up out her whole channel spot. Peace out, chick. And she did not have a plan. She didn't have a book in place. None of this stuff. Another young lady, if y'all know what I'm talking about, a beautiful young lady with a short pixie haircut, Black woman that's on the news, and they gave her spot to Megyn Kelly. All right. They gave her spot to Megyn Kelly. If anybody knew who I'm talking about, yep, Melissa Harris Perry was MSNBC. And she was so shocked. I mean, she spent the next months on Twitter like in shock. And my whole thing is you should have had a book ready that day while the news was talking about you. Now, if you go, Tamron Hall, prime example of this. Tamron Hall, beautiful, black don't crack, look really young. You didn't know if Tamron Hall was 32 or 40. You didn't know. You knew she'd been out there for a while. You didn't know how old she was. And then they said, oh my God, Megyn Kelly's leaving Fox. Let's put Megyn Kelly on. Because it's about eyeballs. It's about ratings. It wasn't a race thing. They thought, man, we done had Tamron Hall on 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 channels. She's going to stick around. So they took her spot, and she's like, I'm walking off. That's when you found out Tamron Hall was 42 years old. Then she got married, had a baby at 45. Sis, go live your life, right? Now they brought her back. Excuse me. But it's not the same. It's not the same industry. It's not the same hype. It is what it is. And what people have to understand is the reason people are fighting big tech, this Facebook, this YouTube, these platforms, having access to them is because this is the last frontier for you to be able to do what? Create your own platform. And again, I think Diamond Dave does a great video on this. And I've done several videos on it. You in somebody else's backyard telling them how they're going to cook at the barbecue. You in somebody else's backyard telling them how they're going to run their show. That don't work. Now, should you have access to the YouTube? For sure. Should you have access to the Facebook? For sure. But I am telling you, this big tech fight, y'all should be paying attention to, because it's not about wokeism. They're going to throw all these distractions in your face about all this other stuff. If you're talented, if you're interesting, you can never lose your spot. You can pick up a job somewhere else, right? Megyn Kelly was more hype than interesting. That's why she lost the show. That's how she lost it, right? Thank you, Jay, for sending your offering. Megyn Kelly couldn't keep her spot. Now, listen, I've seen the rise on YouTube of just average, and I'm not being disrespectful because I know we hate the word average. I know we hate it. I don't know why. Right? We have a plethora of very bland, average white guys making podcasts / YouTube shows, and they're blowing up. They're blowing up. There's one guy, he talks about Trump every day. I kid you not. And I thought, why is this guy still talking? The election's over. All right, brother, let it go. No, he's even more popular since Trump got out. Okay? Every day does a show, 6 a.m. in Washington, D.C. in his background, talking about Trump. Right? Then there's another guy called Outkick. I watch it for to be up here, right? I'm just gonna say it this way. I watch it to see what is the average American guy thinking. What is thinking? What is he feeling in our society? And when I watch those channels, I'm like, holy crap. We are building a society of people that are like very average, but I deserve to be paid. Very average, I deserve a spot on the block. And here's my response to them. If they build it, they do deserve it. If they build it, they do deserve it. If they're going to continually come on this man's internet and people are following them and watching them, they deserve it. Every dollar, every dime. So when I hear about big tech snatching away people's opportunity to connect to other people, I don't like it. So again, in the section, in the description, you see where I'm offering, in-stream ads. I'm offering the community wall. I'm offering Instagram promotion. It's not just, oh, why is there selling this spots? It's because I know how big tech works. I've been doing this long enough that a lot of you are scared of running ads. But if you just start dipping your toe out there, getting exposure, getting eyeballs, and interacting with people who are interested in your conversation and what you're trying to offer, you'll make the money. There's nobody that can take what you've worked for away. There's a guy called Hardcore Closer. He's in Dallas. Dude got caught. He got caught with like guns and drugs or something. I can't remember exactly how much drugs, how much money, but the feds came and got him. And somehow he got that fed time down to a year or something ridiculous. You know how people be pleading out these plea cases. And then he said everywhere he went, people were like, I'm not hiring you. You're a felon. Why am I hiring you? And he was just going everywhere trying to get in the door. Nobody was like, everybody's like, nope, no thanks. No thank you. So finally, he got into sales. And he realized this is probably the only avenue I'm going to be able to make it is sales. So dude has been hardcore at cracking it for 11 years on the internet. Finally, he's been making millions forever. But what happens is people go, well, he's too harsh. He's too this. And I go, but he's made a platform of people who follow him for that. That's the power of social media. He's made a platform and an audience of people that follow that. So you may not be your cup of tea. You may think I got more talent than this guy. But if you want to go into corporate America and fight for a few spots, that happens everywhere. That woman not necessarily racist. Just being honest. She like hanging out with black dudes, whatever. People that like that. But that's just it. If she's got the talent that she thinks she has, she should never said anything. She should have shut her mouth, because the woman who was recording it got punished. The woman who recorded it got punished. Okay. She might as well go ahead and count her days, because she out. She gonna be out whether she like it or not. The young lady that's coming up that was gonna do the show, now she has the stigma that she didn't earn her slot. She got a sympathy slot. She got this white lady said something racist, so you got this slot. So even her position is just a matter of time. She really is going to have to be spectacular to even keep it. There you go. Listen, Roscoe said most women in sports are podcasting are just pretty faces and thick hips. Or we say hips or lips. Right? And so that's the problem in it, right? Because you're having to fight for a spot in corporate America. You're having to fight for a very narrow spot. But if you have the talent, come out here and build on the platform. Come out here and build it. And the reason why I'm going to bring this up, and I don't want to kill the vibe of what I'm talking about, but today I went and helped my cousin get the business bank account with Wells Fargo. While I'm there, while we're sitting there, it's raining outside. I'm waiting on him to get his stuff done. All of a sudden, I see Wells Fargo cuts all business, personal credit lines. They're not going to do it anymore. Now, I don't know about you. I don't know if you remember 2008. I don't know if you're aware of 2008. I don't know if you're in the Rise to 20% class I have. Okay? But we bought on Kareem. They're still loaning. They're still lending to real estate. They're still lending into businesses. But that personal stuff, it's a wrap. It's a wrap, y'all. And that's why I tell y'all, get away from these big banks. Go find you some small banks. Because it's going to take a minute for the small banks to copy the big banks. But I promise you, that's just going to roll downhill. So what I've noticed is people have all this resistance from starting a business. Oh, no, Eric, I just want a side hustle. The amount of hours some of y'all are putting into side hustles, 20, 30, 40 hours a week, that's a business. That's a business. It's a business. It's a business. And I'm trying my hardest to get y'all to understand that these platforms don't respect you as an individual. They don't care about you as an individual. But if you're a business, they have to tread a little lightly. Why? Because there's an attorney. Now, if it's just you and you complaining that Facebook did something to you and Facebook did that to you, but if you're a business and Facebook hurt your staff and hurt your livelihood, now we're having a different conversation. Now a lawyer can do something with you. Do you know what I'm saying? I hope y'all follow what I'm saying. But again, these people that are ESPN, they sign away everything. They sign away everything. When these people are getting into these platforms that are already pre-made, which is ESPN, any of the ones you want to call it, getting on there in pre-cookie cutter spots, they have no rights. They don't have no rights. Right? They don't have any. That's why they have to wait till they leave to crack open their new business, their new venture. But I'm telling you, if you are in one of these places in corporate America, number one thing, when I bring on Kamoy talking about tech writing, if you're at a company somewhere right now, you need to write out and document everything you're doing or everything you did to contribute to improve that company. You need to be structuring yourself so that if you have to, you can bounce. Because a lot of people say, oh no, Eric, I just want a side hustle. I just want to show up and do a little work and get a little money. And I'm like, honey, a side hustle is a whole damn job, another job. A lot of y'all want side hustles paying a whole $7,000 a month. Again, the rental car business that Glendon, other people are on, that's not a side hustle. That's a whole damn business. My friends that are doing Airbnb and they got 3 and 4 and 5 apartments, they got leased under different people's names. I ain't snitching on nobody. I'm just saying they do have them leased under these different names. That's a whole business. That's not a side hustle. It's not a side hustle. And there's this kind of like really big fight to call something what it's not. They don't want the responsibility of business. They know there's this pushback when you tell your friends you've started a business. So they go, no, just doing something on the side, girl. Just doing a little something on the side. They love telling you how they're just doing a little thing on the side. And you sound silly. You sound absolutely silly. I'm just doing this little thing on the side, girl. No. What you're doing is running a business. That's what you're doing. And you can call it whatever you want. Listen, we've already I've met with the team, and we've like between thumbnails and crafting and all stuff, we have 100 videos we have scheduled for the rest of the year. We went way back into the financial side of things, how to invest $50 to $1,000. We done wrote down how to invest in different things, how to get yourself on track for the rest of the year. You know why we did that? Because I realized a lot of people, if you call it something else, they are going to just fall out and throw a tantrum on you. The number one pushback I get on videos when we call something a business, what you will realize is when these people are entities on social media platforms, you are the business. You are the business, right? You can't get away from that. Tamara Hall was a business, right? The Tamara Hall brand was a business, right? And so when people get into these these roles, they have to understand that. Big example, Belief in Fatherhood. They're on the YouTube platform. They're thriving. They started, when YouTube started doing the thing about kid channels, y'all didn't pay attention, but several kid channel creators had to go back and get a job. They'd get a job. There's one couple, nice couple. The husband went back in the military. You dig what I'm saying? They went back in the military. There's several YouTubers I know right now, 4 of them that joined the military. I'm not knocking them. I think it's a great thing they're doing it. Because what they have to understand is if you don't treat this platform like a business, you will not be paid like a business. It's a business. And people are not treating it as such. And they're not going to be in the future be able to contain it and hold it as such. So again, if you have skills, if you have talent, this ain't your only dog and pony you can do. Once you learn the systems of doing something daily, you can go do something else, y'all. And people really fight that. Roland Martin's finding out he's an untalented queen. That's the thing. It's like, what does that brand stand on? Can that brand go make money? Not, then he'd be out. Again, Dr. Dix, you're right. Dr. Dix said people only think Monday through Friday. They really do. And they think, well, if I just put a couple hours here, a couple hours there, they look up, they don't waste their whole week. That's why when people get mad at me, like, oh, entrepreneurship ain't that easy, Erica. Okay. There's several channels right now. Look up when you look up debt-free living, look at what people are saying. When they finally get debt-free and they tell their family and friends that they're debt-free, People hate their ass. They hate them. They ask them for money or they hate them, which is the craziest thing I've ever heard. But that's what they do because what it tells you is, hey, you could get rid of your debt too and be doing something different in no time, but you don't want to. You want to live in this slow whatever till you're 60 years old and then decide you're going to do something else. That's fine. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. That's a choice. It's all choice. So as I'm watching the internet, as I'm watching people, oh, I wouldn't do that if I were you. I wouldn't do this. Well, you ain't doing nothing. You ain't doing nothing. You don't know. You ain't doing it. That's it. You know what I mean? So again, prime example, 2019 to 2021. And I'll tell you the power of face-to-face contact, conferences and seminars. And why I'm so like, I tell people, if you get kicked off this man's internet tomorrow, you can go on and do what you want to do. Right? Roland Martin has a voice in the face of the manosphere. He can create an echo chamber to crying incels and denial. Oh my goodness. There are two boys, and I didn't mean to be disrespectful. They're two young men. They're 21 and 22. In 2019, they were going to school and they were like, I'm in Austin, Texas. And you guys go look them up. I'll share it on the community wall after this. And they end up, what they started doing is they started going to conference and seminar. They went on Eventbrite, looked up every single real estate thing and said, hey, can I come volunteer? Blah, 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 set up chairs, do stuff so I can get in for free. So they start setting up chairs, doing all this stuff for free. Within a few months, one of the guys goes, hey, can I speak on stage? Because what he had been doing is he had been the VA. He'd been helping recruit speakers, set up chairs, set the event down. Turn around, the guy gets on stage and speaks. And people are like, who is this kid? I don't know who this kid is, but I'm going to give him a chance. These two young men, after doing that for a year, were able to raise $30 million. Now, they didn't do it exactly by themselves. They partnered with a bigger company. But people actually listened to them. Why? Because they saw them, let's talk about it, off this man's internet. Off this man's internet. Now, when they were on this internet, they just posted. They went to LinkedIn. I'm going to just tell you, step by step what they did. They went over to LinkedIn, filled out their LinkedIn, put investor in there, and then locked themselves into every single event. Why? Because the space of people actually doing shit is this big. This big. Let me do it like that. It's this big. It's small. It's tight. It's not that many people. So when you start seeing people tripping on each other on the internet, just like you see on these TV channels, ESPN, it's because the amount of people doing real shit is not that big. So you literally could pull off this man's internet, go drop yourself into a city, go to every event in the city within a year, and you'd be the big shit in a year. In a year. So that's why I'm telling you, I want you to understand that, yes, big tech, it's going to handicap a lot of people, but you got to learn how to be able to work off this man's internet. And two, these people trying to be on these platforms, CNC. Listen, after I saw, what's his name with the perm, Al Sharpton got a channel on MSNBC, I almost said F MSNBC. What they told you is they don't care. Man can barely read, can barely speak, he's stuttering, he's doing all kind of crazy mess. And they gave him his whole show. If you're somebody in the wings at MSNBC and you black and you don't went to the Harvard and you don't went got your doctorate and you don't got your master's, you did all this stuff, and they put Al Sharpton on TV, you ought to be like, well, damn, I might as well just leave today and go start my own show. Because that's my whole point is people are fighting for very few spots on TV when the board has shifted. I don't think people understand what I'm saying. The board has shifted. The whole freaking board has shifted. You got these podcasts, right? You got all this stuff coming through where average dudes, because they're consistent, are coming out on top. Right? I mean, it just is what it is. The average person starting these podcasts that keep up doing these podcasts are coming out on top. The young 19, listen, even I'll go over to you, my friend Lane, that I brought on the channel. Lane started apartment syndications in 2019. Because he was consistent, he did 33 of them. 33 mobile homes and apartments. Right as everybody, if you talk to anybody, oh, the economy's so bad, the recession's so bad, housing's so expensive. Yet these people are being very successful. You literally have to understand that you're going to be able to win with big tech, and you can go outside of big tech and win. But you got to figure it out. You got to figure out which one you want to do. But I had to bring that up because I see people going, oh, see, ESPN is suffering from wokeism. No, they're not. That's every corporate America job where somebody comes in and you're trying to take something from them. That's every corporate America job. That's nothing new. It's just new because it's a beautiful, she's still beautiful. I mean, she's a beautiful redhead lady and a beautiful young lady. So this is the thing. I just wanted to bring that up. I just want to do this show because I know somebody's gonna be like, oh, Erica, that's Donald Trump, you out of the thumbnail. People are gonna completely go over their head what I said this whole video. But I just want to make it very clear. Just telling you. Congrats, headed in boxing. I'm telling you, listen, I just want to make it very clear. If you are waiting on Hollywood to make you a star, that's why LA is emptying out. I don't know if y'all noticed this, but a year ago, half of people in LA were claiming to be unemployed. Half. And that's the population that has a residence inside LA. We're claiming to be unemployed. Now, again, you're going to say, how is that possible, Erica, in a city that big? That's because majority of people will drive into LA to work and live somewhere else. But the people in the residents who were in LA, half of them filed for unemployment. Half. You cannot run a city that way. That's why when people say, well, why are all these people leaving LA? No, they're just leaving particular cities. That's all. They're leaving particular cities. They're not leaving everywhere. They're leaving particular cities. And when they leave those cities, they're pulling up the south parts of our states, right? The southern parts of the states. Denver, Colorado's getting full. Some of these other places are getting full. And people aren't ready. Listen, I've met too many people who moved from California. They're in Austin in a bigger apartment, a cheaper apartment, and built a little online thing and kept it moving. But you got to be interesting. You got to be talented. You got to be getting those skills in order. Because I see a lot of the board shifting this fall and people are not ready. They're not ready. They are not ready. And I'm telling you as much as I can. Oh, yeah. Housing in Southeast with that. Yeah. And even right now, when I tell people, won't y'all go buy land and go build it yourself? Because you'll still get loans on that. Oh, I can't find no land nowhere. I'll go online, find land in 10 minutes in the conversation. Oh, well, Erica, again, it's a decision. And there's nothing wrong. People need structure. A lot of people just want to work a 9-to-5 job, have enough money to survive, come home, put their kids on the school bus and call it a day. And that's the life they want to live. No problem, Bob. I support you. If that's what you want, I support you. But you have to understand that the board is shifting. The board is shifting as we speak on how networks are run, right? There's a movie with Denzel Washington's son coming out, and he's overseas. So it looks like it's gonna be a good movie. I think it's gonna be Netflix put it together. He's overseas, and some funny business happens overseas, and everybody went, oh, why can't we have more white actors? It's an overseas. It don't matter who in it. It's not like they made it in America. Denzel Washington's son is a pretty good actor. And see, you already hear people saying, well, that they gave it to him because of, he's Denzel Washington's son. Knowing dang on well the boy changed his name so you don't give him parts because he's his guy's daddy's name. He's earned it. But that's the mentality of people. They think there's only so many slots, which is true when you work in corporate America and you work in Hollywood. And they didn't get a spot because this person took it from and they were less qualified. There you go. You got to figure it out. LA is a city of the have and have-nots. If it wasn't for the rest of the Southland, LA region, money and tourism, LA would be a modern version Mad Max. Everything I saw when I went there 4 times, I've been to LA 4 times now. Everything I've seen, and everybody's like, Erica, do a tour in LA, girl. So many people, and I will be honest, so many people did come out to meet us in LA. I really enjoyed it. I was like, this is dirty. It's just dirty. Now, I will say I have some friends who moved into the Black wealthy area, the Hills. They're both lawyers. Well, the wife's not a lawyer. The husband is a lawyer, though. And I saw their house. I was like, this is amazing. You live in a neighborhood of amazing. I think Aisha Selden's like a neighborhood over from them with her amazing house. And that's all good and well to have this pocket of beauty. And if you ever seen the show Bosch, it does a great view of the city. And it's beautiful. If you're going to spend 99% of your day at your house in your beautiful backyard, your beautiful pool, great. But when you drive downtown and Skid Row seems to be y'all whole city, I can't. I'm sorry. That's insane. That's insane. That does not work. And now you see the pushback of even California. They're pushing the people out of Venice Beach. They're pushing people out of certain areas. We'll see if it lasts. We'll see if it'll last. Because now they're responding to people leaving, voting with their feet at the last minute. Again, I mean, makes political, but I just want to make it very clear. Meet Kevin off YouTube is running for governor. Now, there are 26 other people running for governor. Y'all probably think, oh, this is silly season. But I'm telling you, you're going to look up here in a year or two, and there will be more internet YouTubers running for offices. You know how I know? They already got one dude who's known for making videos in his car, veteran. He's running right now in South Carolina for Congress. And he just raised $500,000. Why? Because these platforms, this internet is powerful. I bet you money if you look at the donor list, it's from people from everywhere else. I've donated to, what's her name? Kim Clack and a couple other people. A woman in Wyoming, a woman in Baltimore, a woman in, I think it was Georgia. I don't live in those areas, but I saw them running from the YouTube. And I support them and their ideologies that are mine running in that city. I've worked in smaller, I worked under John Edwards, and I worked under when Kerry and Edwards combined to run that awful run. I've worked with city council here. I've worked with United Way to be on boards, which you'll probably see again. Y'all know I'm leaving YouTube somewhat. Y'all know I'm kind of wrapping some of this up, and I'm going to go get on boards. I'm going to go get on city boards in Texas. I'm going to go get in small town city council. I'm going to be all up in their face. They're going to be tired of me. Because I just know the difference in real power. Power arguing on the internet with folks that ain't doing nothing and actually being in city council stuff. So anyway, I can see that door opening. I see that door opening because I've worked in enough small towns where when we vote, I've seen elections determined by 500 votes. I've seen elections determined by 199 votes just because the other person had enough people turn out. So what you'll see in the next 2 to 4 years, all these people that been on the internet talking that yang, talking that conservative yang, if you don't see them run in the next 2 to 5 years, it's because people did not want to throw money behind them. Trust me, I went to CPAC and somebody said, if you want to run in this county, we will throw money behind you. In Texas, Tim Allen right now, Allen West or whatever his last name is getting ready to run in Texas. We like our governor. We don't want to get rid of him, but he's running. Why? Because he's prepping that door for it to open the next time. And so a lot of people out here playing on this man's YouTube, playing on Twitter, getting in Twitter beefs, getting in Instagram beefs, and they are absolutely idiots. Because the next progression, if you've noticed, some of your biggest YouTubers are on HDTV now. They're on Food Network channels. Some people ain't paying attention. If you want to go get into these very limited slots, good luck to you. Because I can't, I'm trying to tell you. Oops, dropping the camera. Oh, Lord, help us. Job hopping, yeah. Oopsie. Let me see here if I can fix this. Let's see what you got in here. Last little stuff so I can wrap it up. Oh man, y'all in here talking. You will be left behind. Yes, you will be left behind. Listen, Princess, there is a whole thing right now Grant Cardone is doing, and Cardone Ventures is teaching you to plan the exit. How do you exit a business? How do you sell? That's why I keep telling y'all, if you watch my old videos on buybizsell.com right now, we had one deal completely fall apart. We went across the street, called two business owners that are trying to sell on buybizsell.com. They dropped the price for 30 grand. They were like, "Oh, you for real? You serious? Like right now?" I'm like, "Right now, if you want to sell it, I got cash." So I mean, again, you gotta be fat. He did have the fact that he's Denzel Washington. Baldwin Hills, I think that is where they are. I will go look back on my Facebook, but I've told them, I'm like, hey, I would love to come see your place. When I get to LA, they're like, girl, you're gonna drive from this traffic to this traffic. And I start laughing. Xanatos Clutch, bingo, bingo. I'd rather do an overseas acting gig and keep my dignity. Sorry, than have to do a Lil Nas X has to do to maintain his acting career. Let's be very clear. Lil Nas X, who's seen his concerts? Now say what you want about 6ix9ine. Say what you want about him. He went to San Antonio and sold the concert out. I don't know if you know about San Antonio. It's one of the biggest cities. It doesn't get as much praise as Dallas, Houston, Austin. But if you're black or you're Latino there, it's huge. Nick Taylor had a store there before he left, right? The I know that stadium at least had, I think, 15,000 people in it. 15 to 20,000. I've yet to see Lil Nas X fill his own stadium, not go to somebody else's concert, not do his one hit wonder song, fill a concert. So say what you want about 6ix9ine. He used this social media, he used this YouTube to do what? Build a ridiculous career of tattoos all over his damn face, but whatever. That's what I'm saying. That's why our Classy Climb tour kicks off in San Diego, California. It's beautiful. It is what it is. I love it. We will be kicking off there. I think we've already sold, I don't know, 50 some odd tickets. I'm not certain. My goal is at least get 150 people there. But San Diego is where we start the tour. And then we do the second leg of the tour in Oakland. And then we go to Atlanta to Washington, D.C. Because the people I'm putting on stage are going to show you how in 6 months, 6 figures in 6 months, $1 million in a year, they're going to show you how to use these platforms. And that's why when people are like, why is Trump fighting so hard to get on these platforms? Because if they can do it to him, as big as he is, they're going to do it to a bunch of smaller folks. And they're doing it to his personality, not his business. That's why I keep telling y'all, you need to get yourself a business. Now, maybe like, oh, you're a business. Okay, side hustle, Nancy's. Whatever. Put it in the LLC. I know men driving Uber right now who got $13,000 and $15,000 when this PPP mess came out. Legit from just doing Uber. They were like, shit, I ain't driving. That's why when people say, why are these people not driving Uber right now? Because they got paid. Like bands on bands. If you got 15 grand and you were just doing Uber as a side hustle, wouldn't you sit at home for the next 3 months? Yes, you would. If you're smart to spread that 5K out for 3 months. Yes, if you're not smart, then no. San Fran was cold and smelled like pee when I was there. That's right, dude. That's right. Honey, I went to Atlanta and there was an apartment that overlooked the whole city skyline for 3,000 a month. And people were like, oh, I'd never pay that. I'm like, look where you're at. You're outside of Midtown, so you're not in the crazy downtown part, but you can see this beautiful skyline and you're right where the young people are going to. Okay. So that video should come out later tonight. I don't know. I sent it to Peter, but I'll check. So it's going to be a combination, right? There are 2 million people who should be on foreclosure list. Do I think those 2 million people get it? No, I think they'll be tied up in paperwork. I'm telling you, Dr. Dick, y'all will see a lot more of me on LinkedIn, because I didn't realize how strong my numbers were over there. But you'll see me a lot more over there, just because I know some things and how things are going to trend. So. San Diego, Xanatos Clutch that's perfect, right? San Diego reminds me of what Hollywood is in the movies. So, La Jolla was very beautiful. Listen, come on. I'm trying to tell y'all. Pay attention. If UFC fighter Tito Ortiz can be in Huntington Beach City Council, many people will. You're going to see this. You're going to see this in the future. And I'm telling you what I know. There's a CPAC this weekend. So you guys can tell I'm not in Chicago right now. Weather, stuff here, my family, just all kind of, it's all messed up. And so I was like, oh, let me stay a couple extra days and do this and do that. But CPAC is having a CPAC uncensored in Dallas, Texas this weekend. Now you're going to say, what's the point of that? Donald Trump's going to be there. All these different people are going to be there. But CPAC is where, organizations rub elbows with now a lot of podcasters in radio time. There's a woman called Stacy on the Right. I literally ran into her and was like, oh my God, you're here. Again, you guys will see it. You'll see soon. Yep. Got a Netflix show. So let me be very clear. Is this a Republican channel? Oh, our poor friend. Listen, let me be very clear. I worked in Democratic offices in high school and college. I actually worked under Dixie Democrats in North Carolina. And if you don't know what Dixie Democrat is, they're basically a Republican, but they run as a Democrat because this is the South, okay? I've worked under Republicans in other areas. I have conservative views. If you don't like that, please unsub yourself from the channel, right? This is the woke left mob here, where we're like, are you a Republican? Are you a blood or are you a crip? I'm like, what are you talking about? Just a person who runs businesses, teaching other people how to run businesses, teaching other people how to get through the muck and the mire of the silly credit system that we're having right now, get through the muck and the mire of starting on low budgets and building a channel with it. So again, oh yeah, he's done. Yes, that's right. Cardi B can't even pull a stadium. Thank you. Oh, you got your ticket? Well, welcome. I look forward to seeing you there, Wildfire Natural. We'll be in San Diego and Oakland, y'all. Listen, and the place I went to go see for $3,000 was a 2-bedroom. Had a corner caddy view. See the views of downtown Atlanta. Also, it's in the shipyard area or the belly yard, down for the belly yard, a hotel. I told him, I said, shit, I will get this apartment today. Because that area, it's like off of Midtown. It's Midtown, but it's off of Midtown. It's all these young people going there. And this girl was like, well, no, you need to be all the way in Midtown. And I'm like, nobody gives a fuck. You have the views. If you're working from home, you have all these young people going to the Putt-Putt Shack or whatever that place is called. Don't be silly. I got 15,000 as a home-based phone contractor. Continue to apply for grants and build business. Congratulations. Oh, I'm not big on tattoos. For sure. If you guys are adding me on LinkedIn, congratulations. I'll see a lot of you more over there, but yeah. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm part of the Promises community. The dates for San Diego will be August 7th. The dates for Oakland are August 14th. Wow, you've been watching Ben Shapiro and got recommended here. Welcome to the channel, man. Welcome to the channel. We do talk about a lot of topics here. So welcome to the channel. But that's what I had for you guys today. We're on an hour. I just want you to understand that what's happening is you're seeing it. You're seeing the platform shift. You're seeing this big fight with tech. Facebook announced today they're going to build their own little Facebook city in LA. The people that work for Facebook that I met at Afrotech were like, oh my God, we have to live an hour out to get a decent, reasonable apartment to go work for Facebook. And they were desperate to find diversity hires while they were there. And so my thing is, you're fighting to be on some of these places and these tech jobs that, yes, pay a lot, but definitely control your destiny, definitely control where you're going to live, definitely are controlling a lot of things. So my goal and to this channel and the 100 next videos we kind of do are definitely going to be about, I'm not going to call them businesses, I'm going to call them side hustles, where to invest your money, where to invest in these changing times. What do I see coming up in the future? Because a lot of people are asleep at the wheel. So I want you to understand that. Microsoft is almost done building their office in Atlanta. Didn't know that. Didn't know that. But yeah, Atlanta's not an appreciation. It's not a cash flow city. It's appreciation city. If you watch on Earn Your Leisure Rants and Gems, they did a good one there. Again, people drive by like, oh, there's a phone. So again, you guys, that's what I had for you today. Again, wokeism, big tech. Pay attention, you guys. Lots of stuff happening in the U.S. If I were you, we've talked about this in other videos. Get where you want to get. If you're going to go slide to a smaller city, smaller state, go do that. If you're going to stick where you are, make sure you're earning enough income so that you can live well. And I think I'll have a Dr. Dick's or Tech Tuesday coming up here pretty soon. Before we go on tour. So Raleigh Durham, that's what I heard. But again, you got people coming. So, all right, you guys, this is your girl, Erica, Classy Climb Blog. Thank you for being here. If you're interested in some of the marketing opportunities where you can market here on the community wall, or you can market on Instagram, or in ad video, the links I've been put in the description, and you'll see them more on the community wall, and you'll see me talk about them more for the next 3 weeks. So, this is your girl, Erica, Classy Climb Blog. Later.